Hey guys, Matt from Total MTG here, and it's Thursday, which means it's all about the Brew. And the deck I'm featuring this week is Jan's Mono Blue Control. Submitted this deck before the Pro Tour, which is why I've sort of chose it, because it's got some cards in there that were quite relevant during the Pro Tour, especially in the final. But so I've chose his deck. You should be able to see on the screen now his Mono Blue Control. As you can see, he's using like the Torrential Gearhulks, the Thing in Ice. And like I say, you know, this was one of the ones that was submitted before the Pro Tour. And, you know, he saw the good things in this, which, you know, made me choose this deck this week. But so there was a lot of other good decks as well. So let's have a little look at, basically, you know, he sent me an email, so I'm going to read off some of the stuff he says about it, so it's coming from his point of view. We're going to start looking at the creatures. Start off with Docent of Perfection. It's a 5/4 insect horror. Bit like the Thing in Ice, is a horror as well. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, you put a 1/1 blue human wizard creature token into the battlefield. If you control 3, you can flip the Docent, and then it turns into a final iteration. Wizards you control get +2/+1 and flying, and whenever you cast an instant sorcery, you get a 1/1 wizard as well. But I've been, you know, tinkering around with this card occasionally. It's not bad. I've been using it like this as a 1-of, 2-of. Jan uses it as a 1-of as well. And there's lots of instants and sorceries. Only 8 creatures, and I think obviously there's 26 of the others. So going on to the next creature, one of the good important ones that was used in the Pro Tour as well. Thing in Ice. Thing in Ice is a 0/4. It comes in with 4 ice counters. Once they're removed, you get to transform it into the big Awoken Horror, the big 7/8, and it returns all other non-horrors to their opponent's hand, or everyone's hand, including your own if you don't own any others. But, you know, Thing in Ice, it's a great early blocker as well, and it's a massive finisher as well, if you can flip it early. And like he said, he definitely plays enough instants and sorceries, hopefully to get this flipped, and, you know, it's a potential winner for sure. He plays a 1-of Elder Deep Fiend. Flash, play for Emerge, which means you can cast it for less just by, you know, maybe you want to make it a little bit cheaper, and you get to tap up to 4 target permanents, so it works well with like the blue control. And then the All-Star of the weekend, Torrential Gearhulk, the one that has just jumped in price. When it enters the battlefield, you may cast target instant from your graveyard without casting its mana cost, and then it gets exiled afterwards. But there's 24 instants in there that you could choose from with this deck. And obviously you get a big 5/6 as well. And you can flash it in. So it runs 2 there. Definitely a pretty strong guy, as he says. I do like pretty strong guy in this, you know. It's one of the definitely breakout cards now. So we'll go on to the instants and sorceries. Starts off with 4 Anticipates. Like he says, the cantrip he needs. Not really a really good one, but standard eagle. But I personally think Anticipate's quite a nice card. Literally look at top 3, get to choose one of them. You know, it definitely helps you dig to find what you want. 2 Ceremonious Rejections. Obviously with the meta, with all of the artifacts everywhere, these are being main boarded now. Counters target colour spell for 1. You know, pretty good. On to the next instant. Confirmed Suspicions. Counter target spell, and you get to investigate 3 times. Does cost 5, but you know you've got potential there for 3 cards to be drawn, paying the 2 for the clues. But yeah, it's not bad. It's a 2-of as well. I've never tried that card, but it's interesting that it's in there. And also, like he says, it's a late game counter which helps drawing cards. Next counter is Horribly Auray. Most creatures early game can be countered by this one, which is very true. Runs 3 of these. Counter target creature spell with mana cost 4 or less, and it gets exiled as well, which is obviously all important. 3 negates, counter target non-creature spell, good against planeswalkers and artifacts, which obviously there's a lot of artifacts right now. Going for a couple of revolutionary rebuff. Not too many of these, probably, you know, very well only play a couple. Counter target non-artifact spell until its controller pays 2. Some people do tap out for the walkers, and you know, it's not a great spell. But, like I say, because there is a lot of artifacts in there, but it's in there only as a 2-of. But the next one, Unsubstantiate, is an absolutely, you know, brilliant card. I've been using this in Modern. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. It's just got, you know, for 2, instant speed, absolutely great. You know, you can send back their creature. You can do anything, bounce stuff, you know, and it's obviously you can return a spell as well. And the other 4 of, you know, probably the best 3-mana counter, like he says, in Standard, which is a Void Shatter. I've got a full play set of them. Counts target spell, and it gets exiled. Go on to the couple of sorceries. Slip through space. Slip through space. That's better. Cost 1 blue. It's devoid. Target creature can't be blocked this turn, so there's definitely a couple of big creatures that we could have. And like he says, does one of those little Scions and Servos and Thopters, you know, all blocking the way. Gets you to draw a card as well, so, you know, it's a pretty sweet card, and, you know, it can be used to get through that final bit of damage, or, you know, anything you need. On to the land base. Land base is very, very simple. Great card in Gaia Reach Sanitarium. Got a couple of them. Each player draws a card, then discards a card for 2 is the ability on that, and it taps for colours. Been using that land a hell of a lot, and it runs 22 of the best cards in Magic, which is Islands. So we'll have a quick look through the sideboard. It's got some more Ceremonious Rejections, a 3 of Dispel, a couple more Slip Through Space, basically a few cards that are already in there, just obviously getting the numbers right. Wants to do obviously a bit of testing, see how it goes with it. 3 Filigree Familiars in case there's a bit of aggro, gets you life gain and helps draw a card as well when you block with it. Slinks to the final word, another big, you know, 5/5 finisher, cost 7, can't be countered, flying hexproof, and it makes all your instant sorceries, you know, so they can't be countered as well. And there's another Elder Deep Fiend in case you just want a couple of more big creatures. But, you know, I really like this deck. I like the fact that, you know, he saw like the thing in Ice, Torrential Gearhulk, that obviously it was on a different type of deck at the weekend in Grixis Control. This was mono blue, this was the task this week, and I think it's done very well, as long as everyone else has as well. But this deck definitely caught my eye. It's definitely something that I would try and put together. And it's, you know, very similar to what I would play. Indeed. So well done, Jan. Great deck. So, guys, let's get on to next week's colours. Next week's colours is a little bit, you know, it's not tricky. It's only a 3 colour that I'm going to choose. So I want to see lots of you brewing, lots of decks coming in. Remember, you can send your decks in to totalmtg1@gmail.com. The link will be below in the description, or you can leave the deck links in the comments of this video. But the colour we are going for this week is Sultai. So Sultai is the black, the green, the blue, maybe a graveyard deck. You know, it can be modern, standard, pauper, whatever you want, and those sort of things. If you want to do Legacy, you can. But, you know, not many people play Legacy. Well, a lot of people play Legacy, but a lot of people don't as well. Obviously because of the money, but, you know, standard, modern and pauper is mainly been the decks that have been coming in, and yeah, great decks as normal. So guys, Sultai is the colour for next week. Everyone get brewing and send your great decks in, and then I will feature one of you lucky decks next week. But thanks again for everyone that's sending the decks this week. All About the Brew obviously is every Thursday, and then you have the week, in case you're new to watching this, it's every Thursday. You have a week to send your deck in, and then I will highlight it the following week, possibly, if it's one that catches my eye. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and see you next week. Cheers, guys.